Hey y'all, I'm back again. Podcast Diaries number 11, I should say. I know I just did a podcast diaries. I'm still, thinking and stuff. I was watching some stuff on YouTube, you know, and one of the things that I saw on YouTube was about Tupac. I was watching an interview about his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend is being interviewed by another woman, by a journalist, and she's asking, her questions about, the past and what happened between her and Pac. And for those who don't know who Tupac is a famous rapper. Tupac is a legend. He is a legend. Honestly, he's a legend. He was born June 16th, 1971, and unfortunately he was killed on September 13th, 1996. I was 6 years old when he was killed. I was just about to turn 6 years old. And I didn't know him, never met him, never listened to his music when I was little. I started listening to his music when I got grown. My parents would never let me listen to no rap when I was younger. They didn't let me listen to a lot of different stuff when I was younger. They didn't let me and my sisters listen to anything that was derogatory in any type of way. I don't have a problem with his music. I like his music. But I say this to say is that Pac, I like his music. I like him. I like the way he looks. I like his swag. I hate what happened to him. I hate the fact that somebody set him up and killed him. I hate the fact that they really don't really know still who killed him. They have, conspiracies, ideas. They say that a man named, what's this man's name? I'm clicking on the link. Some man named Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. Ugh. I'm looking at his picture. Ugh. It's a damn shame. Hatred will make you kill someone. Hatred will make you want to end someone. Hatred will make you want to, do things that you shouldn't do. And like I've expressed in numerous podcasts, I'm not perfect. But I don't want to sit here and hatred and hate someone so much to the point where I don't even want to, see their existence. But, on a lighter note, Tupac is the only bald-headed ass man that I could ever see myself with, along with millions of other women. I'm talking about women that knew him back in the day when he was, rapping actively before he was killed. I'm talking about women from other generation, like me, for example, women from my generation, women from the generation after me, women that knew him in his time when he was famous, women who didn't know him, women who don't even listen to his music. All types of women want him, and they still want him even till today. And going back to that interview that I was watching, his ex-girlfriend, you can tell that she still loves him. Like, you could tell that she still loves his man. So with that being said, if so many women loved him like that, that means that he must have been a good person. If a man is loved by millions of women, he's a good man. Fuck all that, he did this, he did that, he was doing this. Man, the proof is in the pudding. If so many women love you, or if so many people love you, regardless of what other people have been saying about you, you must be a good person. He must have been a good man. And with that being said, the reason why I'm making a podcast about this is because I've been wanting to make a podcast about him, but I'm just not gonna, go too much in detail about his, his setup and what happened to him. I have an idea of what might have happened. I have an idea of who killed him. But I'm not the police, I'm not a detective, so I'm not gonna say anything about it because I don't want it to backfire on me. But the one thing I will say freely is this: God will always reveal. God always reveals. He always reveals things. Now they have a suspect, which I feel like is not the only person that's involved with his killing. I feel like that man that they said Keefe D, whatever the fuck his name is, I feel like he's not the only person that's involved. But like I said, I'm not a detective, I'm not a police officer, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. And the sad part about it is that this man, Tupac, he had multiple dreams about his death. And I feel like I said before, like, you know, rappers, artists, you know, stop talking about your death in your songs. Like, you are putting, you're basically putting death on yourself when you talk about your death. Like, if you dreamt about it, pray to God. Pray for God to keep you safe. Pray for God to keep you alive. Don't keep talking about your death and talking about it and fearing for it and you know, manifesting it. You know, when you have a thought in your mind and you keep talking about it over and over and over again like that, you're manifesting it. A lot of these rappers, they might either dream about it or they might have a premonition and they talk about it in their songs over and over and over and over again, and they manifest it. And then, you know, they wonder why something bad might happen to them. Like, another example is that other rapper. There's another rapper. I'm not going to say his name in this podcast, but he kept talking about in his songs, the feds, they're going to come get me. The feds, they're looking for me. The feds, they're going to snatch me up. The feds are going to catch me. The feds are going to do this. The feds are going to do that. And what happened? He's locked up. He's locked up. And, you know, I just feel like all of us, we all need to be careful, because rappers, they're people. They're just like you and I. They're people. They just have money. And they have a lot more support than quote unquote regular people. But manifestation, no one is exempt from manifestation. If you manifest good things in your life, good things will happen for you. If you put good things into fruition, good things will come into fruition for you. If you put bad things out there, you'll manifest bad things. So with that being said, rappers, y'all need to stop talking about your death and start talking about, oh, I'm going to live to 100 years old and I'm still going to be enjoying life. I know it's easier said than done. Sometimes these rappers, they don't care. Sometimes they don't care. And it's like, why don't you care? You getting all this money. You got all this love, all this money. You know, you're at the height of your career. You know, you got all these fans. You got all these people that love you. And you just manifesting all these bad things. Like, you in the height of your career and you manifesting all these bad things. Now, going back to Pac, I hate the fact of what happened to him, but I also feel like he manifested that. I feel like he manifested his death. He did, because he kept talking about it in his songs. He kept talking about his death in his songs. And when you use your words and you spread it out there, you put it on tape, you put it on in music, you say it out loud, you talking to other people, and you spreading your words out there, words have power. He manifested it. And unfortunately, you know, that's what happened. And, you know, I don't know this man, you know, but I kind of wish that he was still alive, because I feel like he would be an awesome rapper. He's still an awesome rapper, but I feel like he would be a good rapper. He would be a wonderful rapper. Even till today, he would be, because I still listen to some of his music. Not all of it, because some of his music, I'm not going to lie, some of his music kind of like puts a bad spirit on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, some music I can't listen to because it puts a different type of energy or spirit on you. You know, I don't want to have that, you know, spirit of, you know, murder on me, you know, spirit of, you know, thief, you know, stealing, you know what I'm saying? Spirit of lust, spirit of, you know, hatred. You know, some of his music got that on you. You know, might put that on you if you listen to it over and over and over again. And I'm not from where he's from. You know, I'm not about that life. But do I like his music? I sure do. I like his voice. I like the way he sounds on his music. I like music, period. I like good music, period. Excuse me. But the point I'm trying to make is, this is Podcast Diaries. This is Podcast Diaries number 11. And I felt the need to talk about Tupac because he keeps popping up on my stream. So maybe it was something I was supposed to talk about. That's how I see it as. I'm very spiritual. I'm filled with, I'm very about, following your gut, discernment. And I feel like seeing his, videos and, interviews about, his ex-girlfriend and, her talking about him, there's a reason why, They're still investigating his death. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I don't think that one person that they arrested for his death is the only person that's involved. I think there's other people involved. I just hope that they can find out who also is involved, so that way everyone that's involved is held responsible. I'm not afraid to say that. I don't care. I'm not doing nothing wrong. That's just the bottom line. But you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Stay blessed.